Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Please make sure to subscribe, comment, like, and share this particular video and this particular YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about Prince George's County. We're going to be talking about the case of Sherron Turner. On April the 24th, 2025, Prince George's County Police conducted a welfare check at the apartment of 44-year-old Sherron Turner after she had not been seen since April the 21st. Inside the apartment, officers discovered Turner's body wrapped in plastic and blankets, partially covered in concrete. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner's Office determined that she had died from blunt force trauma, specifically a broken bone in her neck. Let's run this clip.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.
Heartache and tears as family and friends imagine life without 44-year-old Sherron Turner.
She was loved.
She was a loving soul no matter what she did.
The mother of two was reported missing a week ago and later found dead inside the Suitland home she shared with her boyfriend, 38-year-old Michael McClanahan.
Prince George's County Police say her boyfriend killed her, wrapped her in plastic, and tried to cover her with concrete.
My sister, she was just taking way too early, way too soon.
She didn't deserve this. Nobody deserved this. You know what I'm saying? Nobody deserved leaving like this.
You snatched something from me. You snatched my soul, my life, the person that gave birth from me.
If she saw me taking out my trash, she would grab it from me and say, "Mom, you don't have to do that. I'll take it for you."
Gwen says her neighbor, 44-year-old Sherron Turner, was like a daughter.
It hurts my heart that something like that happened to a young mother with two kids. She didn't deserve that.
Community of Suitland, Maryland, the tragic loss of 44-year-old Sherron Turner has left a wound that may never fully heal. Sherron was a woman who meant so much to the people around her. A devoted mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend, someone who carried a bright spirit even through some very difficult times. Everything changed in late April 2025. Family and friends started to grow worried when they hadn't heard from Sherron. She wasn't answering calls. She wasn't posting on social media. Those closest to her knew something was wrong. Sherron was the type of person who stayed connected. She loved to check in with the people she cared about. The silence was deafening. On April 24th, 2025, Prince George's County police officers arrived at her home on Ewing Avenue to perform a welfare check. They entered the apartment with growing concern, and what they discovered inside would haunt everyone involved. Sherron's body was found wrapped in plastic, partially buried under concrete inside the home she shared with her boyfriend, 38-year-old Michael McClanahan. It was a horrifying scene, one that showed not just violence, but an attempt to erase her existence. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner later confirmed what investigators feared. Sherron Turner died from blunt force trauma. Her death was officially ruled a homicide. Almost immediately, the investigation turned toward Michael McClanahan. It didn't take long for detectives to uncover a deeply troubling history between him and Sherron. They had a long-standing, toxic relationship marked by domestic violence. Records showed Sherron had called the police on him several times before. She had even gone to court and taken out a protective order, hoping to finally put distance between herself and the man who now stood accused of ending her life. Witnesses told police that they heard loud arguments and screaming coming from the apartment around the time investigators believe Sherron was killed.
This started as a missing persons investigation, and when police got here to the apartment, they decided to break in, given the history of domestic violence here. That's when they found the victim's body. She was wrapped in plastic and partially covered in concrete.
It's a terrible day. It's just a terrible day. It's just cruel.
Sherron Turner had been reported missing 3 days before her body was found here in her own apartment on Ewing Avenue in Suitland. According to an arrest warrant, there was a history of domestic abuse. Neighbors confirm repeated police calls to the home. You would hear a lot of arguing?
Yeah, they always argued, yeah, from what I heard for sure.
Did you ever see police show up?
Yeah, a few times, yeah.
They were arguing like every weekend or whatever. And we were used to it. You know, you just get used to it.
Would you hear it?
Oh, we could hear it when he broke the windows.
Neighbors say her gruesome death has rocked their community.
I just don't understand it. I don't know why you have to be that violent and kill someone like that, especially somebody you've probably been living with for a few years.
The arrest warrant says in the past, Turner repeatedly called police after being physically abused by McClanahan and claiming he had violated protective orders. A witness told police screaming could be heard from the apartment the night Turner is believed to have been killed. Another neighbor saw the police activity once Turner's body was discovered last Thursday.
I just feel terrible. I have never in my life experienced anything like that.
An autopsy showed Turner died from blunt force trauma across her neck. Inside the apartment, detectives found empty bags of concrete mix, pry bars, and mixing bowls.
The chief medical examiner says Turner died from blunt force trauma.
When police tried to question McClanahan at the scene, he fled. Authorities found evidence that he had switched Sherron's license plates onto his own car and had receipts from Home Depot for bags of cement and tools, the same materials used in the attempt to conceal her body. McClanahan's escape didn't last long. The very next day, on April 25th, he was arrested in Washington, D.C., but not for Sherron's murder. He had committed another violent act, allegedly stabbing someone at a Walmart. While he was being held in D.C. for that assault, Prince George's County detectives moved quickly, securing an arrest warrant for first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and charges related to the attempted disposal of Sherron's body. He remains in custody as he awaits extradition back to Maryland to formally face those charges.
McClanahan is charged with first and second degree murder, as well as charges linked to him for allegedly trying to hide her body.
Justice is him not ever seeing a day of light again.
Court documents show the couple had a history of domestic violence, and Turner had a protective order against McClanahan.
Justice is also, I would say, Prince George's County being held accountable as well, because my sister had just taken out a peace order on him.
The death of Sherron Turner has left a painful silence in the lives of everyone who knew her. She wasn't just another name in the headlines. She was a vibrant woman with dreams, laughter, and a deep love for her family. Losing her in such a cruel and senseless way has sent waves of grief through her loved ones and the Suitland community. Her daughters are now left to navigate life without their mother's guidance and support, carrying the heavy burden of grief at a young age. Her siblings and loved ones continue to mourn the woman they described as having a bright, loving spirit, someone who could light up a room with her presence. Among her friends and neighbors, Sherron's absence is deeply felt. She was remembered for her vibrant personality, her laughter, and the way she touched people's lives with her kindness. Many who knew her are struggling to understand how something so cruel could happen to someone so full of life. A candlelight vigil was held to honor Sherron, bringing together family, friends, and community members who mourned her tragic loss. The vigil served not only as a tribute to her life, but also as a call for justice and a reminder of the urgent need to address domestic violence.
Dozens of friends, family, and neighbors gathered here to really pay tribute to a woman who they say had a big impact on the community, and now they say they want justice for Sherron Turner.
It's a beautiful thing that people come out, to not only be sad, but to celebrate her life.
Heartache and tears as family and friends imagine life without 44-year-old Sherron Turner.
She was loved.
She was a loving soul no matter what she did.
And as they wait for justice, they want people to remember the 44-year-old for her funny personality and laugh.
My mom was a very funny, bubbly person, and she made the party. So right now we're going to stop crying these tears, and we're going to turn up for my mother.
And her family and friends making a point to highlight domestic violence here tonight, also letting people know that if you are going through something similar or know someone going through something, that there is help.
The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. You can also chat with someone live at thehotline.org. There is help available. Or you can text the word START to 88788. And these resources are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's just a really sad case. And, we always tell victims, you got to leave, you got to get out.
Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Brayboy says this was the third domestic homicide in the last week and a half in the county. There have been 8 domestic homicides so far this year. Brayboy says staying in a dangerous relationship can be deadly.
They think that, okay, I might be getting hit or beaten or thrown or even choked, but it's not going to happen to me. I'm not the one who's going to end up, dying because of this person. I want people to know that you could be that one.
She encourages victims to leave and get help. There is an array of resources available to those in abusive relationships in the county through the Family Justice Center.
Sherron Turner's tragic death has left a deep void in the lives of everyone who loved her. As her family fights for justice, they also carry her memory forward, remembering her warmth, her laughter, and her undeniable spirit. Her story is a heartbreaking reminder of how dangerous domestic violence can be and why it's so important to take action before it's too late. We hope justice is fully served, that her family finds some measure of peace, and that Sherron rests in eternal peace.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.